Here we go. It's been a while. So I really hope it's working. I am not 100% sure. This is the first live stream in a long while. I think the last live stream was 7 years ago on this channel, and I'm quite nervous. I see there's quite a number of people already in the live chat, so I'm really glad about that. Welcome, everybody. So what I want to do in this live stream is just two things. First of all, talk a little bit about of the relaunch of Dojin Fixation. And then in the second part of this live stream, I want to do a bit of a commentary of Sonic Oddshow HD Remix. Just going to give you some insight into a bit of a development of how it came to be, some little behind the scenes, so to speak. And there's already a few people asking questions in the chat. I have someone, Jonathan Vo, asking about if I'm excited for Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. And I am excited for the game quite a bit, although I don't think I'll be able to play much of it. I've got such a backlog of video games currently, so I'm really not sure if I can get to it anytime soon. First of all, in the chat, can you just assure me that the audio is all right? That you can hear me, that you can hear the background music? Just a little confirmation. I'm gonna wait a bit. I know it takes about half a minute or so until I get a response on that side. But I just want to start off, first of all, to kick things off, because on Thursday I released the update video and the response has been positive, and I'm really glad that so many people are still there on the channel, commenting and that are eager to watch more content. So I'm very excited about what I've planned, and there's a couple of videos already scheduled for next week. Okay, but first of all, a bit of history here. So 5 years ago, or even before that, I decided to close the channel for good. For me, it was important at the time to move on and to focus more on my private life, to focus on my full-time job. And that was the situation back then. And then I released Sonic Oddshow 3NK Ultimate Remix. That was the last one, the big one. I was working over the COVID area. I was working on it. And once it was released, there was a bit of a relief that I was finally finished. And then I closed the channel. So time has passed. And last year in 2024, I was getting a bit, how should I say? I had this itch, I had this itch of trying to become more creative again. I've tried to do digital drawing, illustrations, and I tried to do a few things. I made a new YouTube channel, but it didn't really do anything. It wasn't really getting any attention, and honestly, I was also thinking that might not be the thing I want to do right now in my free time. And then I discovered a little program called ToonSquid. Now, I will go more into detail about ToonSquid in upcoming videos that I want to do, especially in terms of tutorials. And but once I discovered ToonSquid, which is a 2D animation app, I discovered that I was able to recreate some of the animations that I did back then with Dojin Fixation. With the Oddshow series. And I was able to do frame-by-frame sprite animation in that app, in ToonSquid. And that gave me the motivation to do sprite animation again. And I was really thinking about it. And last year, around October, I did a test animation that I released as a YouTube short. And yeah, there you go. Someone in the chat knows about ToonSquid. It's a very good app, by the way. So once I released that test animation, I also made a post in the community feature, and I was getting a bit too ahead of myself at the time, because then I got really busy again with my in my private life, and now in 2025, recently, some things have happened that motivated me even more to get back into animating, and I think it was about mid-June. A switch, basically a switch happened in my thinking process. And that's when I decided, okay, I'm going to try to prepare a comeback on Dojin Fixation. And that's where we are right now. I've prepared some assets. I have sprites already. I've been working on getting all the sprites together, on getting ahead on the animation side. I've already created about I say at least half a minute of animations, and so yeah. Okay, that's the first thing. That's just a bit of a history, a bit of a timeline of this comeback. Another thing I want to address very quickly, and I'm seeing people already writing pretty nice things in the live chat, so I'm really grateful for that. I'm going to address some questions later on about me. About my name? Actually, I want to talk a little bit about my name. So, as you know, I've called myself Shadek15 back in the day. I was a name that I created when I was 15 years old, and I was just stuck with that. But today, I want to change that. I am personally going to refer to the channel as Dojin Fixation, as always. And to some degree, you can actually call me that as well. So yeah, you can still call me Shadek15. That's all right. But I really don't mind if you just call me Dojin or Dojin Fixation. That is just, yeah. That's just as a small thing. Huh? You can call me Dojin. You can even call me by the full channel name, Dojin Fixation. That's all right too. Shadek15 is fine too. But yeah. So if ever I introduce myself, I'm gonna say, "Hey, I'm Dojin." So there you go. Another thing, just giving you a little preview of what's coming in the next couple of weeks. So you've seen that I've uploaded these Oddshow shorts, or as I'm gonna call them now, Odd Shorts. And they're basically just me re-uploading or integrating the old Oddshow videos that I made into YouTube Shorts and uploading them one by one. And I'm gonna spread them out over the next couple of weeks, couple of months, and you're gonna see basically all of them again. To me, it's just a way to bring them back into the fold, to get some new viewers who have not seen them, to get their eyes on it. And it's just to celebrate a little bit the past work in preparation for the future. And what you're going to see next week, it's already scheduled, is a YouTube short that is going to deal with unused sprites. Unused sprites that were part of the development of Sonic 1. And it's a beginning. It's a beginning of a new format I'm trying out. And we'll see if it works in terms of reception, if it works in terms of me doing them regularly. We'll see. Okay, that's and there's going to be also tutorials again. So yeah, there's a reveal. I'm doing tutorial videos again. But you're also going to see new sprite animations, but they will take a bit more time. Okay, now it's time to do the commentary on Sonic Oddshow HD Remix. Just going to go over some questions I saw on the chat, because there are some interesting things, like someone asking me, it's DMG, asking me if I am using a sprite, or recommending me of using a sprite, which is a total game changer for sprites, and I totally agree. The thing is, I am using Resprite. Now, it's funny, I always thought that Resprite was just the brand name for Europe, like the equivalent that you can find in Europe, because A-Sprite, but basically A-Sprite and Resprite, it's basically the same thing. So I've done the comparison there. If like just the interface is almost the same thing, and I'm sure it's not 100% equal, but I still think Resprite is more than sufficient for what I'm currently need to do. Okay, and I saw someone else asking me what my opinion is on Chris Pratt voicing Mario in the Super Mario Bros. Movie. When it officially was revealed, I was quite flabbergasted, to be honest. I was thinking, what the hell is this? But once I saw the movie, once I saw the trailers, I was very much convinced that he was doing actually a good job, because they didn't really go for this "hello, it's me" type, but they actually wanted to have a more normal voice of Chris Pratt doing Mario. They still did like a little bit of a reference to his more Italian accented voice. And I thought in the movie it worked quite well. I mean, you had all the other ones. You had Jack Black, you had Seth Rogen doing the voices of Bowser and Donkey Kong respectively. And I thought the whole movie was actually pretty wholesome and a lot of fun back when it was released a couple years ago. All right, and I have one question, which is Mario appearing in the Sonic Oddshow. I'm not going to say too much about it. All I will say, check the community post that I made recently. And what I can say is that Mario will have appearances in form of cameos in future Oddshow installments, in whatever form that will be. And someone was asking about Sonic Advance sprites, or Sonic Advance styled sprites, which is a question I've had also many years ago. And my answer to this is that too soon. Too soon. It will take time. I'm someone who is very much accustomed to classic sprites from the Genesis era, and I will stick with that for a while. Not saying that I will never do it, and I mean at some point I might do it, but for now I'll stick with what I know, which are the classic sprites from Sonic 1, 2, CD, and 3 and Knuckles. So those are the sprites. Okay, let's start with the commentary. Okay, so what will happen is I will start the video on Sonic Oddshow HD Remix, and I will occasionally pause the video to give you some insight into what was the idea behind it, what was an interesting, an anecdote or something funny happening behind the scenes. Okay, are we all ready? Okay. And again, for those who just joined us, welcome. I hope you're having fun, and thank you for sticking around. I see some people that I've known back in the day, and thank you for sticking around. And here we go. Okay. Let me just give you a second. I'm gonna reduce the background music. I'm just gonna focus on the video right now, and here we go. Come on. Okay, two things about this. So first of all, since this is an HD remix, the clear thing to do was to widen the screen, because the original Oddshow video was made in a 4:3 format, and since this is now a widescreen HD, I had Sonic just push aside these annoying black bars, so there you go. Sound test. And also, just for info, back then when I was working with Adobe Flash or Adobe Animate, the thing is, when you export your videos, you want to make sure the file size is not too big. So what I always had to do, especially in the beginning, was reduce the audio output. So the quality of the audio I would reduce manually to make sure that the file size would not explode. I'm sure some old school animators are familiar with this issue, which is no longer a problem, of course. Yeah. Oh yeah. Clearly reference to the glitchy nature of Sonic games sometimes. Of course, you know those speed runs, tool-assisted speed runs, where Sonic would just go into the ground and just fly over the stage, skipping most of the stage. So I kind of want to make a reference in that one. Sega. Yeah, and of course, I always reuse the same style of introduction. And what you hear here is a music from Sonic 3D Blast. So I always use the introduction for that one, for the introductions, because I really love that intro music. Yeah, and of course, we're gonna have Mario in this, of course. He's gonna get punished, he's gonna get tortured in a way. Okay, so that's supposed to be me. Disregard the fact that my drawing skills have not been very good at the time. But that's supposed to be me playing, I guess, a game that I don't really own. I never owned the original Sonic Genesis or the Sega Genesis or the Mega Drive. But yeah, that's just how I wanted to do it. The original first skit. So what I always want to do in these Oddshow videos is make sure the first skit is quite long and is quite captivating. And in this one, I just wanted to have Sonic riding the motorbike. And in some way it's funny because, and let me pause for a second, it is funny to me how I unconsciously made a reference to a thing that would happen in the future, which is Sonic Mania, where you had one of the heavies ride one of these motorbikes as part of a boss fight. And it's kind of funny because when I did the Oddshow video, I was not aware that that would be a thing. I was not even aware of the famous ROM hack of the motorbike that was that you can control. So all this was unrelated, and I was really not aware at the time. Okay, here we go. Let's continue. Oh, thanks, Lucas. Yeah, the drawing, I can tell you, my drawings have become better from there. And also, just a quick note, I'm using a lot of audio clips from the Sonic Adventure games, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Heroes. I just love the voice of Ryan Drummond as Sonic, and I just love reusing those audio clips, of course. And even the original voice of Eggman, I'm forgetting the name, but from the adventure games. But he, of course, I like his voice as well. Okay, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about this skit, because this skit has been, how should I say, remade several times. It's been remade. I've done it in the first installment of Oddshow, which was back then called Show. It was a German version. Then I did this one version in a future installment, and then I did another one, and then I did this one. And so this is basically the fourth or fifth iteration of this skit. But I still love it, and it just works, you know, just works, the idea. And of course Mario in the background. I mean, you just gotta love the collision effects here. Dame Briston, yeah, thank you. That's the original voice of Eggman. Thank you for that. I had to accelerate that voice clip. Believe me, I was very much afraid of animating in a Labyrinth Zone because you had the underwater sections. But believe me, I will try to do that in the future. Okay, a quick word on this guy. So this guy is Shattuck. So as most of you know, I guess, he's a fusion between Sonic and Shadow. And back then when I tried to come up with a username for myself, I was thinking, man, I love Shattuck. I love the Shattuck from the Nazo Unleashed or the, what was it called? The Wrath of Nazo Flash videos from back in the day. I think some of you, if you're not familiar with that, check it out. It's a very great Flash animation series. And Shattuck shows up in that series, and I was so captivated by him that I just said, okay, I'm gonna name myself Shattuck 15 because I was 15 years old and I love Shattuck, so that's where it comes from. And this is supposed to personify me, I guess, in the Oddshow series. And of course, he's not very happy with Mario, so Mario's gonna get it right now in the face. There we go. So this skit was animated by King Silas. Okay, just a quick word. Back in the day, we did a lot of collaborations with a lot of sprite animators, and some of those sprite animators have come a really long way, and they've become really, I'd say their videos have become very popular. And I let him animate one skit for the Oddshow, for this Oddshow installment, and I thank him very much for that. Very good animation, I have to say, especially Mario here. Yeah. Shattuck, the original OC. Donut steal. Alright. Okay, so this is one I'm very... it's one of my favorites, to be fair. So, I think some of you are familiar with Sonic 2 XL. It's a ROM hack. Basically, you just play as Sonic in Sonic 2, but the difference is you don't collect rings. You collect onion rings. And I will wait until the next skit to explain what is really happening here. Of course that would happen if you eat an onion ring. Okay, so this skit, gonna wait until the punching line. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. So the idea of Sonic pushing the button, exploding, and Sonic Tails flying into the space, that's something. But the fact that Mario just flies off like that and says "Mamma Mia," I'm gonna tell you right now, it's a reference, it's a deep cut to a Flash animation that was released probably 15 years ago. I cannot tell you anymore what it was. I think it was just a very short, hand-drawn Flash animation, Sonic doing something, exploding, the Earth explodes, and you have Mario there saying, "Mamma Mia!" So yeah, that's kind of a reference to that. So if you didn't know that, now you know. Okay. Oh, I love this bad nick. So, Sonic 2 XL is a ROM hack. If you eat those onion rings, Sonic is just gonna get quite, how should I say? He's gonna get fat, basically. And the more, how should I say? The thicker you get, the harder it is to move. And this is what I try to demonstrate here. I'm struggling a little bit with the background there, I have to admit. Funny skit. Oh yeah, super. Someone in the chat is mentioning that you can go super as Sonic in Sonic 2 XL. I'd like to see that. I haven't seen that yet. Yeah. So okay, just a quick one. In the original Oddshow series, in the original Oddshow installment, so the one I made in Adobe Flash entirely, so the whole video was one Flash file. When I did this skit, I was thinking, man, I'm just gonna use every single sprite, every single graphic that I made, and just putting them all together and doing this skit. So yeah, so I just had to reproduce it here, but it's funny. Normally you should see Shadix, you should see Mario, you should see Shadow, all flying in, Eggman even, the motorcycle even, Sonic Boom. There you go. And bye, goodbye. Of course I had to lower the pitch on this one just to get this effect of a very deep hilltop zone tune. Oh boy. I gotta go back and play the Sonic 2 XL ROM hack. It's a really fun one. You should all play it. I mean, at least try playing it. Ooh. Believe me, I was struggling a lot to figure out what Eggman is supposed to be doing there. But yeah, I just figured, why not just have him, you know, bully him a bit. And of course a heart attack. I mean, come on, if you eat that much. Okay, so okay, little quick thing about Oddshow and Oddshow HD remake. So when I tried to remake the original Sonic Oddshow, I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna remake every single skit that's already in the original, but I'm gonna add a few things, some new things that have not been in the original. And this one was a tricky one because this is about the special stage, and then this is a tricky one to do because the special stages in general are hard to figure out in terms of how to animate frame by frame. And I'm really dreading the day I have to do anything about Sonic 2 special stages, and don't even mention the Sonic 3 one. But yeah, it's just a quick word on that one. And yes, Lucas, I was not so afraid of my file being corrupted, not so much. Though that happened, I think, a few times. Yeah. So I was really just trying there.
I guess you weren't expecting that.
No, I was not expecting that either. Okay, this is one of the funny ones. But it changed a lot from the original, because in the original you just had, I think, Sonic Tails falling off and Knuckles getting kicked off or something like that. But I really wanted to change this one, just to make it a bit different. And okay, so I'm really giving Mario a lot of spotlight here, which not saying I'm regretting it, because this is after all a Sonic Oddshow, not a Mario Oddshow. But I guess I was a bit more experimental at the time. And of course Shadix's gonna come in at this point. Oh yeah, this skit is also fun. One of my favorites. This was even in the original Sonic Pun and Show. So way back in 2006 I tried making this skit here. And also I wanted more of Metal Sonic, so I really had to add him as well. Oh yeah, Gone. What makes the Oddshow videos sometimes for me personally are the sound effects. Just some little sound effects that really make the difference between a scene just happening and a scene really, you know, exploding in a way. One more thing. So I always like running gags. So for me, it was important to have to integrate always like a thing where you have one skit, but they repeat. There's like 2 more iterations or 1 more iteration of it, just to build on the running gag. So that was always a thing I liked doing, not only in the original Oddshow but also in the newer Oddshow. So I always loved doing that. I can tell you, animating that bridge took time. Okay, so I'm gonna address a trope that is happening in all those Oddshow videos, which is no one is left unharmed. It's just a thing that when those characters interact, if one of the characters gets pulled away like here, or if it seems like they're being spared, don't fret, they're not getting spared. Everyone gets everyone gets their fair share of how should I say, ownage. Damn. I was really experimenting with some filters there. I don't think I will do it again that way. Damn. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of a plug here, and I implore you to watch Sonic, what's it called again? Sonic Capsule Chaos. So many years ago I made a little compilation of little skits, kind of an homage to Mario's Castle Calamity. I'm sure you're all familiar with that one. And I call it Sonic Capsule Chaos, and it's just Sonic pushing the button on this capsule, and whatever kind of thing happens. And this is just, let's say, a deleted scene or a relic of that time when I made that animation. So here you go. Anything can happen when he pushes that button, and here we just have him blown away. Okay. Alright, so here I want to pause and talk about a series that is very dear to me, which is the Sonic of the Dead series. Now, when I first started out making sprite animations, I tried to, you know, create some little things like Sonic vs. Sega, or have Sonic appear in the Moonwalker game, you know, the Michael Jackson one. And not long after, I tried to kind of combine Sonic and zombie stuff. Because I'm not sure if you're familiar, but there's a sprite animation, a flash animation that is no longer, you can basically no longer find it, but maybe someone has it somewhere. It's called Sonic Show Zombie Attack. And in this story, you had Sonic, Knuckles, I think Shadow and other characters, they lived together in a flat, and they were invaded by zombies. And that was such a fun story with a fun dialogue and everything. I mean, they were not talking, but it was just text. But it was so fun that I said, okay, I'm not going to use this, but I'm going to recreate it in a way that has more extensive lore. Of course, it goes a different direction. But this was the idea for Sonic of the Dead, which is a series in which you have Sonic, Shadow, Knuckles fighting zombies, surviving a zombie apocalypse. And it's really a fun thing I did back in the day. And I implore you to watch it as well if you want. It's on the channel. It's one of the older videos. And I'm very keen on bringing it back in some form or fashion. I don't know how. We will see. But this skit is, of course, a relic of that time. And yeah, of course, Knuckles, don't play around with those zombies. You should instead throw him a DVD cover of Shaun of the Dead. Just as a reference. That's what you get for that. Another new skit that I developed, completely new, and I wanted to focus it on Tails this time, because Tails doesn't always get the spotlight, and I thought in this one he should get it for sure. And oh boy, Tails doll, yeah, I know. Very funny sprites I'm using here. I have the Mario Spring one, the Tails walking on all fours, so there's a diverse, and I love this one. This facepalm Tails sprite animation is quite fun. Alright, here's a remade one. Sonic CD style, Stardust Speedway, having Sonic race against Metal Sonic. One of my favorites, favorite skits, to be fair. So I used this sound clip from Sonic Heroes, Metal Sonic saying "nice job." Don't ask me why. I didn't realize he said "nice job." Here we go. So who's gonna win? Who's gonna get the girl? Of course it's not Sonic. Now I'm gonna be the face. I'm just thinking that I should say that I might exaggerate a little bit not the hatred, but the fact that Sonic dislikes Amy that much. I might be going overboard with that a little bit in this case, but it's just, yeah. All right, let's continue. And of course, Amy's having none of that. Okay, someone in the chat is saying something I want to address. And I don't want to say too much, but someone is mentioning that I was planning to do a fully fledged Sonic Oddshow CD. Not really. I was never really planning it. I was thinking of it for sure. But what I will say is that since now I've relaunched the channel and I'm back into sprite animation, I'm definitely not excluding the idea of a Sonic Oddshow CD. We'll see. I would like to do it, but some things need to come first, and then we can get to Sonic Oddshow CD. Or who's to say it's not going to call Sonic CD Oddshow? You know, those are two different things.
I'll nail that Eggman. Can't let him escape.
Okay, disregard the face that you kind of see on the right side here, but of course I needed to also create a skit for the final zone, which is the last zone of the last stage in Sonic 1 for the Genesis. So yeah, definitely wanted to do one of these. I think Eggman didn't get enough of, didn't get hurt enough in that one. Okay, I take it back. This is the one where he gets hurt.
I can't believe this. Here we go.
So this is the final skit, and just as the beginning of an odd show, I kind of want to make sure the last skit of an odd show has a bit more of an impact, is a bit longer, is a bit more of a, what should I say, has a bit of a chase feeling. So when I say chase, I mean like they are being chased by something, or they run away from something, or whatever. That's kind of what I want to try to do in these final skit ones. And I think this one works quite well in the sense that I have every character appearing, and of course they all get their, yeah, they get what they deserve, let's say. Knuckles not seeing what he's getting. Oh.
I am the ultimate.
Oh boy.
I got it.
Sonic!
And this idea of this scene, like Knuckles flying away and hitting Tails and both falling, this goes back all the way to 2006. This was an idea I put together when I was, how old was I? I guess I was 14 years old when I put this together. So this idea of this skit is almost 20 years old. You gotta put this into, I'm having a hard time imagining that it's 20 years, this idea, just the idea is 20 years old. Of course, Sonic being like that is typical, but maybe too much. He's definitely not like that in the games. Bye bye, Amy. Of course, everyone is getting their share of harm. Even you, Mario. The only character who is not getting harmed is, I guess, Shaddick. Alright, that's it. This is the original Sonic Oddshow HD remix. Okay. Oh yeah. King Asylus. Yeah, he's still online. He still has a channel. So I'm trying to I'm gonna try to link him in somewhere in the description of this video. Yeah, of course I make reference to the Excel sprites, Shaddick sprites. Very important to always mention the original sprites. All right, so what else can be said? This is Sonic Oddshow HD Remix. It is without a doubt one of the more popular videos on this channel. And as you can see, oh yeah, these are all the oh wow, this is so long ago. So of course I was using Flash at the time. Photoshop was also a program I used. ScreenFlow, iMovie, Audacity, and a few more. And I have to say, it is funny how I use none of them today. It's kind of funny. Maybe Preview I use, but all the other ones I'm no longer using. I'm using only one thing, and it's my tablet, and none of those programs on the tablet. All right. Oh yeah, just a quick reference to Sonic of the Dead. Of course, I use a lot of music from House of the Dead, which is another Sega franchise I actually kind of like. So yeah, okay, so I'm just addressing a few things. I think in the chat, some people wanting me to do more commentary. We'll see. First, I might do a commentary on the two other HD remix videos, but today I just wanted to focus on this first one, and we'll see if we do more in the future. And let's just see what's in the after credits. Oh yeah, sure. Oh yeah, guys, I forgot about this.
Mamma mia!
There we go, 2017. Yeah, I think HD Remix was released back then, huh? Okay, so I think the video is now finished. There's nothing else coming. There we go. So let me just address a few things. You had Super Mario Oddshow 2, which was released. A lot of people are going to ask us about Super Mario Oddshow 3, which I suggest you check the community post I made recently where I addressed this issue. I'm not saying that I will never do it, but for now it's not planned. Okay, people, that's about all I wanted to do, and I'm going to finish the stream in a few minutes. I'm just going to say that I am very grateful for all those that are in the chat that have followed this live stream. I appreciate it a lot. And my idea is to do more live streams again. I'm not sure. I want to say I want to do one more in 2 weeks, but I will confirm I will do a community post about that, where I also want to go back into playing a bit. I want to play some games. It's gonna be Sonic, of course, for the beginning. And I also want to do live streams when I animate. So you're gonna see a little bit of my animation process. That's something I'd like to do. Other than that, we'll see. Next week, there's a couple of videos coming out, a few shorts and a few odd shorts and a few tutorial-related things. So I hope you look forward to that. And that's it for me. Let me just have a quick look over the chat in case there was an interesting question. Not for now. Okay, so all right. So I thank you, everybody who was in the chat, who was there, and everyone who was there, who is now there, and yeah. Okay. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope to catch you next time. And until we see each other again, have fun, take care, and ciao.